execution date will be fixed. Third project, agro-pastoral development in Yamba and Mazangi Ranch. 11,000 hectares have been the subject of a permit for Rwandans to develop those agro-pastoral activities in Congo. In Yamba, the first tests of the profitability for maize plantation have been started. Fourth project, mining. Following the efforts of the Ministry of Mines and Geology, Crystal Venture had obtained 4 exploration projects, and today the mine of Kangamichopo has been accorded to them, and in August 2023 the mining activities will start. The fifth project concerns the dry port of Lindsay. Today, nothing much has been done, but we strongly hope that in the next few months, the two sides will start discussions in order to give impulse to that project as well. Having said all that, you can see that all the projects, except the one concerning the dry port of Dolizy, you can see that all those projects have been started very satisfactorily. We need in Congo water and electricity and internet. We will therefore contribute our part, without which the industrial park of Maluku will not be successful. I would like to thank you for your kind attention.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre. On va procéder à la signature d'un accord.
Thank you, Ministers. Now we are going to have the signature of an agreement. Minister Ngabitsinse, MOU on the African Free Trade Agreement.
Thank you, Ministers. You may take your seat. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, Votre Excellence, Monsieur le Président Sassou N'Guesso, we will now begin with the interaction with the press, starting with statements from Your Excellencies, followed by questions from the press. It is now my honor to invite Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, to deliver your remarks.
Excellency, dear brother, President Denis Sassou N'Guesso, President of the Republic of Congo, and the honorable delegation that came with you, and through all of you, we send greetings back to our brothers and sisters back in Congo. Mr. President, we are honored to have you here during this visit. And as has been said, the good relationship between our two countries speaks for itself, and will continue to do so through action and results based on what has also been stated to us that is going on over the last weeks and months, and looking forward to good results. We were pleased that you visited us at this time. You found time despite many things you are dealing with. And we are very happy to be presented with an opportunity to honor you, Mr. President, for the reasons that have already been stated, not only matters to do with our bilateral relations and the closeness of our two countries, but also the engagement and your efforts across our continent for peace, stability, and prosperity of the people of this continent. We want to see more interactions, beginning with two countries, but we want to see our two countries thrive and interact more with the people of our continent. And we already have progress in the area of African continental free trade area. We want to make that work. We want Rwanda and Congo to be in the lead of making this progress work for our continent. I will not go through the details of projects again that have already been mentioned, but these were just stated for us to make sure that our collaborators work more closely together and put more energy into it, and we see accelerated progress that we desire to have. Let me therefore welcome you once again, Mr. President, and assure you that this is a moment we have cherished, and we will build on it going forward. And you will see us more in Congo Brazzaville. We wish to see you more. You, I mean you, President, but also the people of Congo. We should, both people in Congo and Rwanda, when they are visiting each other, they should feel at home. Once again, all the best to you, and best wishes through you to the people of Congo. Thank you very much.
Votre Excellence, Monsieur le Président Sassou N'Guesso, nous vous invitons à prendre
Your Excellency, President Denis Sassou N'Guesso, I invite you to take the floor.
Excellence, Monsieur.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Paul Kagame, my dear brother, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, dear brothers, dear friends, I would like to first of all thank my brother, President Paul Kagame, for the invitation extended to us for a state visit here in Rwanda, following his state visit in our country. And since yesterday, our country and our people have been very honored here, first by the warm welcome that was extended to us the whole day yesterday and during the evening, and then by that honor to our people, our country, through the highest honor that was awarded to us last evening. We've said it and we repeat it now. That honor, through my person, has honored our country and our people, and I want to say thank you again today. And I said it yesterday at the Parliament, and also during the banquet. I said that President Paul Kagame indeed has marked the history of his country and the history of the world as well, because after the tragedy that your country has known in 1994, he was able to rebuild this country and its people and took it to a high level in terms of internal cohesion, at the highest level of the capacity of rebuilding the nation, the highest level in terms of relations with other peoples of Africa and the world. And he put this country at a level of popularity which is admirable. And this is what allows Rwanda and the Congo to rebuild and boost their relations, as the minister has just explained. And as far as I'm concerned, I think, like I've said this to President Paul Kagame as well, we must remain vigilant and ensure that all of our collaborators at all levels work as hard as possible to move towards concrete and tangible results. Cooperation cannot remain a ritual from joint commission to joint commission, from us signing accords and to other accords, and then to let those accords collect dust in ministry building shelves. We need results. I also would like to say that the President Kagame, his people and his government played an active role in efforts to re-establish peace and security in Africa through the African Union, sub-regional communities in Central Africa, in East Africa, and sometimes directly through bilateral relations with states. I must say that in 2006, 2007, when I was President of the African Union, and there was a major security challenge in Darfur, we called upon African heads of states to send troops to Darfur under the United Nations. And it's thousands of Rwandan soldiers that we received in the Darfur. Second example, I was a mediator in the Central African Republic crisis. And on that occasion, we saw in Central Africa Rwandan troops coming. There were also Congolese troops, Burundian troops, and from other states under the United Nations. But beyond that, in the Central African Republic, there was bilateral agreements between the Central African Republic of Rwanda that saw Rwanda sending more troops into Central Africa, this time around through bilateral relations. We've been following the difficult situation in Mozambique. It's no longer it's not longer Central Africa. It's not the East African community. No, it's now SADC. And I think those troops are still out there. They're still down there. So Rwandan troops went to the rescue of the government and the people of Mozambique to try and restore peace and security in Mozambique. And I think the results are there for everyone to see. So we were talking about the IFCFA, CFTA. Now, that agreement has been bearing fruits, and it will do more when there is more peace in Africa, with free movement of people and goods. The IFCFTA can only work. IFCFTA can only work in Africa when we bring products and they go through borders, and people being able to take them to another country. If we did not have that agreement, then people cannot easily move around and exchange goods. How can we develop commerce on our continent? So we already have free movement of people and goods. And for this free movement to be possible, there has to be infrastructure. communications infrastructure. The goods cannot be moved around without roads, railroads. Without ferries, it's not possible. Then you also have telecommunications. This is an important weapons. So everyone can buy their own goods in a different country, being in their own living room. If we don't have such infrastructure in Africa, I think, unfortunately, we don't have those infrastructure in Africa. There's also the will to make sure that there is peace in Africa and the commitment to ensure that we have free movement of people from one country to another. And yesterday, I reiterated this during my speech. So right here in Kigali, it's President Kagame and President Idris Deby, may his soul rest in peace, who initiated this amazing project to have a Pan-African passport. A Pan-African passport. That was not just talk, it was a serious message to Africa to make sure that Africans move in Africa and feel at home everywhere in Africa. President Kagame, he raised his passport and he told me that he still has his passport. President Idris Deby also produced his passport, waived his passport here in Kigali, and I think his passport is still very well kept in N'Djamena. I myself went through all the steps, had my fingerprints taken, or had my photo taken. The whole procedure yesterday, I asked the President Kagame to give me my passport. So that's what I'm talking about. Africa, well, I think that you have to go step by step. The first step was to, it's up to us. That's why we're here today, cooperation between Rwanda and the Congo. So we need to take that step, and that has to become an example. I think that all of our collaborators will help us to attain that goal. And I am delighted to be here in Kigali. And I came here many times now. I've come here many times here in Rwanda. I will be back. There's no doubt about that. And as President Kagame said, we are going to encourage free movement of Congolese to Rwanda and Rwandans to Congo, and do all that's possible to make sure that that small brick in building Africa takes shape seriously. Thank you, my dear brother Paul. We will organize for having organized this wonderful visit. Thank you so much.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Nous allons maintenant passer aux questions de la
Thank you,
presse.
Mr. President.
Commencerons par la presse
Now we will
congolaise.
accept questions from the press. We'll start with the Congo press. Please be concise and short in your questions.
Merci bien, Messieurs
Thank you
les Présidents. Je suis
to both
Célestin
presidents.
Okano-Irika,
Celestin Okano-Irika, journalist
présidentiel du Congo-Brazzaville.
from
Ma question s'adresse
Congo-Brazzaville. My question
au
is
président de
addressed
la
to
République du
the
Rwanda,
President of the Republic of
Son
Rwanda,
Excellence
His Excellency
Paul Kagame. Monsieur le
Paul
Président,
Kagame.
en avril
Mr. President, in April
2022, vous avez
2022,
effectué une visite
you
d'État au Congo.
came to Congo
Une année plus tard,
in
votre
state
homologue
visit.
congolais
1 year later, your
sol
brother from Congo comes to
Monsieur le
Rwanda.
Président, quel sens
Mr. President,
donnez-vous
what meaning do
à
you
ces
give
visites régulières
to
de haut
these
niveau
regular
entre
visits at the
Brazzaville
highest level between Brazzaville
et Kigali?
and Kigali?
Merci.
Thank you.
These visits stem from the desire for the people of Congo and the people of Rwanda, led by the leaders present here, both of us, to work together. And these visits make the distance between Rwanda and Congo very short. It compresses the distance. And it means that being example, that's how we want Africa and the countries on our continent to relate to one another as well and as one people across the continent. But it is not just the visits. We want the visits to be built on working together on tangible foundation, actions, and results that we can see when people are investing in each other's countries. And if we do business with each other, and if we see development on both sides of Congo and Rwanda coming up and going beyond our own borders, the two visits are just about that. They are about creating first the connection of the two countries, but through that, connect with the rest of the continent and allow the rest of the continent to connect with us through different means. And it means we are there for each other. When there is any problem in one country, we can work together to address it. If it is in another, the same thing. That's how really people should be living together. We shouldn't allow these artificial barriers to prevent people from doing what they should be doing for themselves. So that's, I think, the message is clear. It has been clear for a long time. We shouldn't just, and I will agree entirely with the President, that we shouldn't just be talking and saying nice things, but we should see good results from the very things we intend to do or we say we want to do. That's when we shall have given the meaning of to that interaction and the crossing of bridges to either Congo or Rwanda.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll now take a question from the Rwandan press. Philbert.
Thank you. My name is Philbert Girinema. I work for ETA. Your Excellency, my question goes to you, Your Excellency President Paul Kagame and President N'Guesso. Referring to the speech made by Minister Denis Sassou. Rwanda and the Republic of Congo have committed to a series of agreements to invest in each other's key sectors. However, many criticize this intra-African investment, saying that it's unreliable and exploitative. I would love to hear from you, Your Excellencies, what do you say to those critics? Thank you very much.
Ce que je n'ai pas compris, exploitation c'est quoi? Pour être explicite, qui parle d'exploitation, je ne comprends pas.
My question is about this investment between this agreement between Rwanda and Congo. There are some people who criticize this partnership, saying that it is unreliable, and I want to hear from you. What do you say about it?
I don't think it is any clearer.
Bon, mais il s'agit certainement de personnes qui n'ont rien compris.
These are people who don't understand anything. All we are saying is that we are building Africa. Those who criticize these efforts have understood nothing. The agreements that we just presented are so clear. They concern development. The development of sectors such as agriculture, such as industry. That means the possibility given to Africa to produce in Africa, to produce goods instead of importing them from the end of the world. We will be producing goods and services in Africa. Will be able to process our own raw materials. We will develop the mining sector. We will explore our soils to find minerals. And I really don't see how a real African, a true African, can criticize. What did you say again? You say people say it's not. People criticize that, right? They say it's not. That cooperation is not credible. Well, these are people who don't understand. Let's continue to explain. Not everyone will understand things at the same time. We'll continue to explain. But at our level, things are very clear, and they fit perfectly into the vision that we have, a vision of building Africa. If some people don't understand this, we will continue to explain. They will end up understanding. I think when they see the results, they will understand that these projects are credible. That's why we are asking our collaborators to produce results, and after that, everyone will understand. Thank you.
I just add a little bit to what the President has said, but I think he has said all that needed to be said. And I had the same problem of understanding what the question meant. But let me, without wasting time, we shall invite the critics to accompany us on this journey. I'll pay them their ticket. I'll pay for that. And they can keep following it to see the meaning, the viability of what we are trying to do together, the two countries. The only problem is we haven't gone far yet. We just have a lot of work before us to do, and we should get down to work and then give the critics something to talk about that is there, but not criticize something that hasn't even happened. So I think the journalists or the critics are doing their job. Let's do our job too. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellencies. We'll take a last question from Kagao.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je m'appelle Jean-Pierre Kagame. Je suis journaliste.
Jean-Pierre Kagame. My name is Jean-Pierre Kagame. I'm a journalist at Rwandan Television. I will ask a question regarding security challenges. You mentioned them briefly. What is the state of cooperation between the Republic of Congo and Rwanda? Are you satisfied? What can you do to improve it even further?
Mais je suis satisfait.
I am satisfied because the direction is clear. We need to have clear ideas. We have given clear guidance. We identified clear projects. We signed agreements that are clear and they cannot be misconstrued. The agreements are clear. Some projects have been identified. And I always say that the longest journey starts with the first step. We have identified a number of projects. Let's execute them. Let's implement them. Then we'll carry out an assessment. Personally, I'm very confident. And as we just said, we are asking our administrations and collaborators to work hard and produce results. You will see there will be results. I have no doubt about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, once again for your time. Monsieur le Président Sassou N'Guesso, nous vous souhaitons de continuer à passer d'agréables moments parmi nous.
Mr. President Denis Sassou N'Guesso, we wish you wonderful stay as long as you are among us.